The
I
players
think
that I would sign is Upamecano, Araujo, Alexander Ba, Gavi, Cherky, Lookman, Achlios, and Rodrigo Mora.
I don't think he can get all of them unless. Or
yeah,
okay,
that's too greedy.
What you said?
yeah. Who's leaving?
I'm good with Isak.
What's wrong
I
with
rate him extreme. No, I rate him
Damn.
extreme. I just
So
like.
it's like that. Okay, I see how it is.
I don't think he can.
I like to keep it as is.
I don't think that we can.
So what
bring
you're
in
saying
another-
is he's too black. That's what you're saying, right?
No,
What?
it's more that he's too good. Like he's
Yeah, I
too
agree.
disturbing. Like we have to play in a different way with Isak.
Yeah.
Whereas Cherky, Achlios, they're just puzzle bites that just go into exactly what we're doing at the moment.
Pieces of
Mm,
the
It wouldn't
puzzle,
change
okay.
anything.
Yeah.
I just
get
think
Yeah,
that in
exactly,
general,
yeah.
I just think that in general, I don't think we can go, especially if we keep playing Dembele at the 9. I don't think we can go and get another like big superstar-esque forward because we already got like realistically, if you think depending on if you count Due as a forward, already a rotation of like 4 with Barcola, Due, and
Kvara.
Kvara and Dembele.
Yeah.
And then if you add another one, there's already 4 there. You add 5, like
Yeah, I think that's
Some-
a healthy
thing is, like,
rotation.
no, but no,
The
it's
problem is like
you
Due
can't have
is
too
a
many.
midfielder, man. Due is a midfielder.
I don't
Yeah,
think
that's what I'm saying.
4 is-
If you count him as a midfielder, then okay, maybe you can do 4. You can do a rotation of 4.
But you look at elite teams over the past God knows
No,
how
but
long,
like
they've
even
always
like
had
when you
a
think
lot
of like
depth
when you
in
think of
attack,
like
bro.
even like the like Barca's treble or like even when like BBC
Look at
like,
City
remember-
though. City.
You want to point to? Are we? Do you want to point to Barca?
that 2015 that 20
So they had.
Barca-
So off the bench, they had I think Pedro, right?
yeah Pedro coming
So they
off
had
the bench.
Pedro coming off the bench. I think Meunier, or was he like still a kid at that time?
Yeah, he was there, but like I said, but I said
yeah, those aren't relevant. Look, 14,
I think-
15 Barca is not a good example. It's not a good example.
I think
I'm
they
using
had
that
like
as-
Delafayu and like guys
No,
like that.
see,
yeah, but those
you
were like
mentioned
clear
bums.
second.
You're
Like those are
mentioning
like those are
bums,
like that. Like Gonzalo Ramos is somebody he's coming off the bench, and
Yeah.
Isak is not gonna come to PSG to be like.
But if I'm being honest though, if I'm being brutally honest, man, I'm benching Barcola for Isak, man. I'm sorry. I'm benching Barcola for Isak. And then I think Lucho, you just have him figure out the attack. Like if you want to, I don't know, play like Kvara in the hole and then play Isak and Dembele as the outlet, so you play them as like central strikers. Just you can cook it up however you want. But if you're adding a world class forward, like you can never say no to that.
The thing with Isak is he's gonna cost 150 million euros.
We have the
He's
money
not
for
worth
that.
He's not worth that.
Yeah, you're probably not.
I mean,
But
even- I'm
but
just saying,
we have
even
the
if you
money. Like
take
we're not
him-
broke. We have the money for that.
I
especially
know,
if
but
we
he's
can
just
sell some
not.
guys.
He's just not worth that, dude.
But like when there's no other holes in the team really that you need to go out and spend crazy money on. Like
How high would you go? How high would you go for Isak? How high would you go?
But I think as well we could offer some players in return. You know.
No, but that's.
But
not
we just
realistic.
talking. We just talking
Let's-
transfer
yeah.
fee.
Yeah.
I would
I
probably
mean, he
go
would be like
to-
140.
I would be comfortable around like 130 maybe.
That's nuts. I wouldn't
in
even
this,
go that high.
no,
man.
no. How much did Dembele go to Barca?
140. But I think Isak takes the attack to another level. And
140.
surely that's worth it at that fee.
I agree. Like Isak would fit Lucho's system. Lucho would even do hipster shit like play Isak out wide. Like,
Yeah.
but
I'm just thinking. I don't
Man,
think like if. Oh, sorry. Go.
no, like if Barcola and Dembele and Kvara as well, if they can put up real good goal scoring numbers, which I expect them to keep doing over the coming years, I just think you just add another playmaker, dude. You just drench the team in playmakers. I want Cherky badly, dude. I just think what he brings with the ball is just it would take us to another level, man. Alongside with Due, Kvara, like it would be another level, dude.
I just think
Like
that
no
like,
team, we would be the most technical team on the planet. We'd be the most technical team of the 2020s decade by far. Like it wouldn't even be close.
potentially, yeah. I just think that you can't like. I think 4, and if we count Due as a midfielder, like there's just so many. Like we can maybe only do that for one season because of course even with PSG, you play a lot of games, so on and so forth. But like, you think, like if Isak comes and now Barcola is now has like reduced game time, so on and so forth. Eventually, like even if we go and win
Yeah,
the
it's
Champions
not
League, they're
worth
not
it.
they're not going to stand there for they're not going to stay there for a while. Like they're not going to be fine being in a rotation. So like they're a player also with like I guess egos to a certain degree.
But if
And Barcola would not like that Isak move as well too, because
Yeah.
because first there was Kvara, now you're getting Isak, who's also like
surely it's all about competition though. Like you can't be
Yeah,
saying
but you can also have two like as
yeah,
in
and George
two
Mendes,
more.
the agent, he will definitely sound out on that.
I mean, if Barcola says he wants to go, he's 150 mil slapped down the table, you can go.
No,
But at the end
no.
of the day, if you want to add like the best possible squad you can build,
Like
and
you could,
if
I
you're
think you could have it for like one season, but then eventually, like if we have like what Mo has, you bring on
yeah,
a Cherokee Akriush and you bring on like an Isak, and let's say you get rid of a Gonzalo Ramos, like you're basically playing for at most 4 positions with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players for 4 positions.
wait,
The only
what
player,
are the
the only
options you
player
just
I
said
would
there?
flip,
So
the
okay,
only
let's
player I would flip Barcola for, I'm just say this super quick. It's Dagmal.
Oh my god,
That's it. Yeah,
we can skip that.
Oh my
Like,
God,
like
Tosin.
if you look at the attackers right now, yeah, it's like Barcola, Dembele, Kvara, and then Ramos. Those are the only attackers we have. If you want to count Due as like
Kane.
half an Kang doesn't count. If you want to count Due as like half an attacker,
But
then
Due's
fine.
played more as an attacker than he has as a midfielder this season.
I still call that like a 50-50 split because he can play both. Like Due can be on the
but he's-
pitch. Due can be on the pitch with the big three, so a big 2.5. That's why I'd count him with like a 50-50. I think like there's more than enough games to be played, And
No, he's
if I'm being honest, if I'm being brutally honest, yeah, I don't think Barcola is good enough to be starting every single game, especially if you can get like a truly elite player. And it doesn't even have to be Isak. It can be anyone. But I think I would feel more comfortable getting a better player than Barcola to challenge him and to improve the team.
When you already did that
But
this
how
season,
many
Kamara.
how many left wingers are better than Barcola? If we
It doesn't have to be a left winger because Kvara can play off the left as well. And then you just
I think you brought in your competition. I think you can at most have competition for like two high quality players for like 2 spots. Yeah, but then
we only have 4 right now. There's only 4. Like the attack is a rotational.
I think that's the most you can realistically have, unless you you assume like one's
you
going to
need
get
backups.
injured.
That's like we don't have backups right now.
No, but like, but Gonzalo's a backup. Like he's somebody who comes in. He's
not like Gonzalo. I think.
But like, if you took an Isak,
agree.
would Isak be okay getting the minutes that Gonzalo's getting?
No, but if Isak.
But then the thing is, then you have to take off like either a Dembele, a Kvara, or a Barcola, and like. Unless you're perfectly fine with like basically letting the next season afterwards Barcola leaving.
But why do we have to assume that Barcola is going to want to leave though? Like players at the elite level,
because
Real Madrid have Camavinga on the bench every other week, and you don't see rumors about him demanding to leave. Like, I don't understand this idea that a player is either starting or then they're going to want to leave.
No, but Barcola has a super agent, man. He's got George Mendes.
If George Mendes can bring it to 120 mil offer, then Barcola can go. Like, I really don't have an issue with that.
Yo,
like, if it's a case of either you leave for a good fee or you stay, like.
I agree. If there's a good fee, you can get rid of them. I mean,
there's only one player flippable for Barcola.
Who?
Let me talk about.
We obviously don't need Yamal, man. Come on.
I would take Yamal. I'll take Yamal.
What does he add to this team?
I mean, he's I mean, I think I take him.
I mean, he's ass though. He's ass. We don't need him.
Like I low-key agree with Tosin. I could potentially saw Barcola for
I still don't trust Barcola like in the biggest games. Like I don't fully trust him if I'm being honest, man.
Oh shit, really? That's how you feel?
I mean, okay. I can't deny what my eyes are telling me.
But you have to understand, tactically, he's so important to what we do. His ability to get in behind is
that's true. He's one of a kind. Not many players can do that.
So important, man. Like basically, this is high praise for him. You might not see it as high praise, but he's a B-Tech Mbappe. You need that.
No, you're right. Like his ability to stretch defenses because of the runs he makes. Like that is important, definitely. But I suppose it's all about the trade-off, then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's only so many players you can realistically have all together. Like I mean, assuming you get rid of I know Lee. You get rid of
So
Gonzalo.
do you think it would be easier rotating if it was a younger kid than what Bray will have with what's his name?
Yeah, younger kid because
Arda Güler.
he'll be fine. It's easier, but even him, like
Yeah.
you're at Madrid, we're talking like you hear like Endrick is not happy, and that's Real Madrid, the biggest club in terms of names historically, so on and so forth.
Right.
And like there's rumors there that they're not happy, and same thing with Arda Güler as well. And they're like Real Madrid, like Ancelotti just doesn't rotate, so it's not like they definitely can. They just don't put him in. I'm just thinking because like even Barcola didn't start that the Classique game against Marseille. Like I saw him, like he was not like after the game he was not like really like happy. You could see that he was a bit disappointed. Because the thing is, you have to think like when you're a young player, you
Yo,
come in,
Phil,
like Barcola.
mute.
When he came in last year, he's a young player. He's coming in. He's fine.
He's still a young player though.
Yeah, he's still young, but at that point, he's perfectly fine. Like being okay, I'll learn. I'll whatever what minutes you give me, sort of thing. Same thing with Due. It's like if Due now he continues on this vein next season, he can't continue to get the minutes he was getting at the beginning, or like just being he's gonna be saying I need to be starting basically.
Do you think we've given Barcola almost too much responsibility in game time and to have it? Because if in his head he needs to be starting every week, or else he's not getting the game time he deserves.
Barcola got a little ego on him too, DJ. Because
then I think we might have fucked up with that situation. Then
remember the Liverpool game after we went through
Liverpool.
Every PSG player posted on Insta.
Well, he didn't post.
Except Barcola.
Nah, I don't think that's that deep.
Like,
but like, I don't think a player of his level and of his not even level, because he's a good player, obviously. But I don't think a player of his age and where he stands in the team should be looking at it like if Kvara said like if I'm not starting every week, then he's gonna have an issue. I can understand that, but I don't think Barcola should have that mentality either.
No, but the man's in the middle of a 20 and 10. He giving you 20 and
because
10.
I think we've put him. Do you think Barcola is he is truly a 40 GA level player?
Could be, yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
like I think it's similar with the Rafinha shit, where like he's playing a role that is almost sort of elevating him, but that shouldn't have him thinking like I'm a superstar. You know, like you're not on. It's not a big three. It's a big two, and then you're shit. No, it's a big one. It's a big one.
But DJ, what you're doing here is everyone. First of all, a lot of Barca fans I disagree with that discredit what Leva is doing. You're the same people that are discrediting what Haaland did for City. Oh, you can put a Kane there instead of Haaland. He will do the same. No, like you have to give the credit to both Barcola and Rafinha for their numbers this season. Yeah. Yes, the system they're playing in and the players they have around them is making them great, but you're underrating Barcola too much. And then the expectation you have on Barcola being the big game player, that is the hardest thing to be in football. We saw how Dembele, a 27-year-old, barely was able to handle the pressure in the beginning of the season. Bradley Barcola is into his third season of football.
Yeah,
he went from having, I think,
nearly going out on loan somewhere.
His first Lyon season,
nearly going out on
last
loan
season having good, and this season he will get like 40 GA.
So I do agree that we shouldn't be expecting him to be a big game player. That's why I think you should be, if you can get an actual
how many big games has he played in? Like
how was him not being a so-called big game player, big game goal scorer in your sense affected us this season? How's it affected us?
I think we're into the Champions League quarterfinals. Do you want me to point to like some of the big? Obviously, you can point to the misses, but I think even
how has it affected our season? Same thing with Dembele's misses. How has it affected our season?
Because I don't think the attack as currently constructed, I still have that almost like that nervous feeling at the back of my neck. Like in the biggest moments, are they gonna come through? You know, like I don't have that same feeling. I don't have that same feeling with the midfield. You know, like I think the midfield is cooking. Like Doué's cooking, Virginia's cooking, everyone's cooking. I don't have that same feeling with like even the defense. Like we talk about the defense being shaky, but like I think in most games we play, the defense is very solid and you don't give up a lot of good chances. But with the attack, like constantly game after game, we're seeing like it's so tough because obviously in the Champions League it's different to the way they play in the league. But in the Champions League, they're not being maybe as clinical as you would want. And that's where in my head I say if you can plug, that's what I wanted more. If you can plug Salah, who's every
I mean,
season.
Salah stinks, man. We
Yeah,
saw
he
Salah
saw
against
he's
us 2
down.
games. What the
No,
fuck?
I said at the
I
time.
don't know
At the time.
Okay,
at
but
the time.
even now, like, okay, we're
I don't
going
know
and
who
saying,
you're
okay,
comparing Barcola to. I
when
don't know what
if we
player
go,
you're
you
taking
said
to
But,
be like,
lack
but
of
Salah is
clinicality.
more clinical.
instead of
Salah is more clinical
Barcola.
than Barcola, though. Let's not. Come on now.
Salah
Right
had a
now.
free open net versus PSG. He hit
No,
it
it was a
straight
good
to
save. It
Nunes.
was a
But
save. It was a save.
that's two legs against PSG. Let's not act like Salah's some bum. Come on now.
I mean, in big game,
No,
if you want to talk about
I'm
big
not saying
games,
that.
he.
I'm just saying,
If you want to talk
you're
about big
saying
games,
Barcola
he is a
bad
proper
and we should
fraud.
buy someone else.
No, but
Who is it
Salah
that
has
we should buy?
almost a 10-year track record of being a great player. Like you can't compare that to one season.
Yeah,
with
in the
Barcola.
Premier League, Mohamed Salah has played 14 finals with Liverpool.
He scored
He
like 1
has
goal.
2 goals penalties.
Mo,
One goal
come on,
penalty.
man. Let's come on. Let's. I'm
No,
not even
you
trying
are
to cast
lying
Salah.
now. You are doing a
What am I
lying
doing?
argument to
How am I
discredit what
lying?
Barcola is doing. Because you're
No,
calling
if
Mohamed
we're
Salah a
comparing
big game
Salah to
player.
Barcola, there's no conversation there. But my point was that I don't think Barcola is going to be the one. Like, okay, he's scoring what? He's going to score 30, 40 goals a season. But I don't think he's on the level of like a lot of the other players who are scoring 30, 40 goals. Like he's not Salah. He's not Salah. He's not Haaland. He's not Mbappe. He's
How
not that
I
level of
could
player.
lobby the same thing argument of anybody in the front three. I could say same thing with Dembele. Like you want to like go and talk about big game players. Dembele, Dembele has had some pretty shocking stinkers in big games himself.
Exactly. That's why I'm scared. That's exactly what I'm scared.
But then why are you like shifting it specifically to
Because
Barcola?
I
Then
think
though?
Barcola is the easiest to shift because he's the youngest. That's what I'm saying. You can't shift.
DJ,
Kvara just got here,
tell
so
me-
he's
Tell
not
me
going
one
anywhere.
team in the world where you wouldn't have this problem.
Like
If I was a Madrid fan, I would
Yeah.
be scared because Vinny can stink it up a lot of times. Mbappe can stink it up. Rodrigo can stink it up. Strictly goal
Okay, if you
scoring.
want to
At
talk about big
Barca,
games,
I could
maybe
be
Barca's
scared.
the only one. I think in terms of big games, Real Madrid
Yeah.
can say yeah they got it. Mbappe World Cup Finals, Vinny,
We've been watching Mbappe in the Champions League.
No, but as in empty. If we're really restricting it to like big games, is what we mean. Like
Okay,
Mbappe's done it in the
go
past.
back 3 years to what
No,
Mbappe.
I think
looking
Madrid.
now,
I don't
going
think
into a
Madrid.
Madrid game
yeah.
now, I'm not convinced that Mbappe is going to score.
I agree with you. I agree with that. I don't think
So
Madrid
what
fans.
player are you like Dembele?
I don't think.
I
yeah.
think Dembele and Rafinha have been the only consistent big game goal scorers this season. The only 2 in the entire world. The only
Okay,
2
so-
I can
so-
rely
I
on.
actually saw a
Dembele
stat.
and
I actually
Rafinha.
saw.
Okay,
I
so,
actually
Mo, if
saw
you
a
look at,
stat. I saw
Alright,
this
go on,
stat with I saw this stat with Rafinha and Dembele. Like over 70% of both of their goals this season have been like goals, that start the game, or they're equalizers, or they're winners, like game winners. Like that's actually nuts, man. Like both of them
No,
are
they're-
not like stat padding at all. Like they're scoring. Like,
Yeah, no
really important
penalties as
goals.
well. No, they've been like the 2 and DJ. That's why I'm a little bit more calmer about Barcola still, needing to improve on his big game cold scoring because the bill is taking that. It's like when Barca won the Champions League, it was only Messi scoring big goals. I don't think Pedro and Villa were some insane, but they were still great players in that team. Like just because Barcola isn't it doesn't mean like I'm very happy with this team. That's why in the next transfer window, I want to buy players that are better backups and put competition on our starters. I don't want to buy Isak. I don't want to buy a Liam. I don't want to buy a Vinny. I want to buy
didn't
Church,
mention Leo. I didn't
Akhliosh,
mention Leo for a reason.
Lookman, and maybe Rodrigo Mora. Isak, no, I'm good. I'm good.
But isn't that the same logic that you used last year when I was naming some guys and you said, what was it you said? You said buy starters to. You remember what you said, right?
Yeah,
I think also last year is
that's
we
the thing.
didn't
I don't
have.
feel we need starters. I don't think we need starters.
Yeah,
I don't
last
think
year
we need players. This
Like, we
season.
got-
Like, I would-
I guess time will tell. At the end
because
of
the whole
day.
thing this
Time will
season, I
tell.
remember all over social media was why is PSG getting Kvara? You already have Barcola, so now he has his competition. Like there's that competition there.
Yeah.
I
But
think
to be fair, they don't.
Barcola's
We
not-
know they don't play the same role in the team though. So like, I think
But he's competition
people who
position.
no, but they don't play the same role though. Like we see that they don't play. They don't do. The
I
same
know,
thing
but that's what
when-
Isak does. Isak is basically a Barcola.
And I think that like that's what I think. If you can upgrade on Barcola by getting a world class striker, I think.
But then that's like going
If
and
you
saying,
get
okay,
Isak,
if you
you
got
have
if
to
you got
sell
Cherky,
Barcola.
if you get Cherky, you're getting another Due basically, a very nice, very technically gifted player. Who can,
well,
like
No, they're
Sure.
different players. Due gives you way more volume than Cherky. Way
I
different.
think Due is more of a
another level.
midfielder. Chirk
Yeah,
is
Due-
more of a attacker.
Pure, forward. Yeah,
But,
Due and
but
Cherky are different.
if you get Isak, you have to sell Barcola. So if you really want to get Isak,
if you can sell Barcola for a great fee, I'd be more than happy to sell
I mean, yeah,
him.
there's obviously a number. There's a
Because
number. There's
Isak
a number.
is better. Because Isak's a much better.
There's
player
a
than
number.
him.
There's a number, but like I think for me it's high. Like I'm
Yeah.
looking at this from like the Neymar
So
2017.
okay, so
if
so
they come with like
if Bayern came with a 120 million euro offer,
Yes,
for-
obviously.
for Barcola,
Yeah.
would you
Obvious,
do it?
because you can just take that 120 mil, you pay it for Isak, bro. That's perfect.
I'm not necessarily sure if I
That's literally perfect.
No, I'm not. No,
So-
actually, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd do that. I don't
Man,
You
think
would
I'd-
have signed for
Man,
120 mil.
the only way I take it is if I can reinvest that. Let me talk about.
Oh my god, bro! Swap out, bro. Hundreds. I'm driving him to Munich myself, man.
I mean, the first like we're talking like although who isn't Isak's older than Barcola, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Like
By how many years?
2 years, I think. 2-3 years.
So if I'm not mistaken, like Due, if I'm not mistaken, has more professional experience, like pro experience than
Yeah, but-
Barcola
Does he?
overall. Because Due played against Neymar 2 years ago. Was
Okay.
playing.
Wait,
Barcola-
are you talking about how many years he's played or how many games he's played?
For the first team, I think years.
Like years.
I think he's played more. Desiree Doué's first season was 21-22, but he didn't play a single minute. So his season started 22. No, they're both in their third season. But I think Barcola has actually played 4 seasons, with one basically having no games. Barcola,
but he was in the
yeah,
first team.
this is
right?
Barcola's 4th season. The first
Okay.
season he played only 11 games, 2 starts, 263 minutes.
Who has a
Desiree
higher
Doué this-
ceiling? Who has a higher ceiling, Barcola or Isak?
Barcola.
Isak is better right now, but who has a higher ceiling?
The thing, I don't know what Barcola's ceiling is, but if I'm being honest, I would still say Isak, because I think Isak's ceiling is best striker in the world. I don't know what Barcola. I think Barcola's ceiling is still more of a question mark. Like he's doing this shit right now in a meaty Newcastle side that don't create like crazy amount of chances. Imagine what he'd be doing if he was just getting fed tap-ins. And the difference is, at the highest level, I trust him to finish those chances more than I trust Barcola. That's not an indictment on
But
Barcola.
he's more of
that
a
says
finisher.
that Isak's a great
He's more of a
player.
striker though. Like
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, you could argue that Dembele is sort of doing what Isak would do if he was in our team right now. You
Yeah.
can make that case.
Mhm.
If you remove Barcola, who is doing what Barcola is doing? Because
I think-
Dembele
I
is
think you
different.
can- yeah.
Dembele is different. He's a different type of dribbler. Barcola is really like, Tosin said, he's somebody who can stretch you going like, because if you remove Barcola, we don't really have much more threatened behind. Like
I
that
think
ball
you
that
can
everybody that
reconfigure
left
the-
like those left-footed side of
Yeah.
ours, whether it's Nuno, whether it's Hernandez today, Fabian sometimes when he's on that side, even Vitinha sometimes in that like the lane between the two, the center back and the fullback, the right back. That is Barcola's like that's his kitchen, that's his office.
I think
He
you can
goes in-
reconfigure the attack. Like I don't really think that's an issue. Like you can make that work somehow.
No, I think he prefers you. Like I think we got a good balance right now. Kvara is really like nifty inside, like goes technical, very technical sort of
Yeah.
winger. Dembele is very shifty, left, right, goes, sends you, so on and so forth. And clinicality right now. Barcola is pace, burns you with pace, gets on your mistouch and burns you right there. And then Doué is controlling in the midfield, being very technical. So like I think we've got a good balance now. If you go and you bring in an Isak,
Mhm.
like he's not doing anything new that Dembele is really doing right now.
Well, okay. So like I said, if you bring in a new player, you add something new to the equation, you have to reconfigure it. So I think in an ideal world, if Isak's coming in, Barcola's going out, Kvara is going to play off the left more often, maybe in like an inside left channel, and then you have Nuno pushing on sort of to support him. You reconfigure that however you want. And then Isak, so I think Isak as well, he'd be able to interchange, right? Similar to how the front three works right now. Because Isak at Newcastle, they play him sometimes in the inside left channel, inside right channel, as well as playing up front. He's not solely just like some sort of target man, like someone like a Haaland, where he can only play as a striker, only play as the focal point of the attack. He can make the runs coming from out to in like other forwards can. So he's not just, a stationary target up front. So I think like he can fit that sort of interchangeable attack as well. Yeah. And like I said, like none of this is me not feeling Barcola. I think Like the season he's had, it's blown my mind. Never in a million years would I have expected him to play the way he's played this season. But if we're going to be going deep in the Champions League, playing at this level, then I think you do need slightly better players. Or at least maybe like if you believe Barcola can become that great player, then I guess it's just, you throw your hands up and you say, we'll wait and see, won't we?
I think you need to do that on top of the fact that Barcola's younger as well. Would probably be on less money as well.
No, but he's gonna want a new contract soon, won't he? If he has another season like this next year, he'll definitely want a new contract.
Yeah, but I still think he'd probably be less than Isak if you brought him in.
He'd be on minimum.
Isak currently right now is actually earning a lot, like ridiculously low money for what he's outputting at Newcastle.
Right, that's why he's gonna move this summer, or at least maybe get a new contract in Newcastle.
I think he'll leave. I think he wants Champions League football.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, shit, they might get Champions League football.
He'll probably go to like a Liverpool or some shit.
Yeah, Liverpool. That's a pretty good shot.
But yeah, I'm not too hot on Isak. Pause. Like I don't think we need him. I just think we need like another playmaker. Even though we have a lot of playmakers, you just get another playmaker. Then it's like we are like at the peak of unpredictability. We may not be the most clinical, but we're so unpredictable. We're so unguardable. We're so unplayable to the point that it's impossible to, to defend against us for over 90 minutes.
Oh, speaking of which, bro, Tosin, bro, I'm sorry. I owe you an apology. I think I said Akliusha for Shirky, bro. I am sorry. I was blind. I saw the France under-21s against England. Oh my goodness. Shirky
You watched that game, right? I watched that game as well.
Bro, I am sorry. I was blind, but not like Akliusha was fine, but they were both playing there, and bro, Shirky was
Shirky was just like Shirky was just another level.
Crazy. I thought Akliusha is still very, very good, and is maybe a bit more efficient than Shirky, but Shirky's oh my goodness.
Shirky's the best player in the world. Ball to feet, he's the best player in the world.
Wow, dude is pretty good as well. Dang,
but the thing with Shirky is if he makes the wrong move, like in terms of the big club he goes to, like he can go to an intermediary club like a Dortmund or whatever, but if he goes to if the big club he goes to is like some Premier League club, that's the end of his career. It's over.